Hey folks, this is Matt aka Slash, and welcome back to CarnisTerra. We're here in the inside, or below the inside I suppose, of the tree. I wanted to show you this real quick before we got any further. I was AFK in here in the little fisher hole, the AFK fisher shack, and when I came back, and I turned around, I had these signs. Hello Matt, how are ya? Doing well, I hope. I'm not sure exactly who placed these signs. I think... Whoops. Super axe there. I think... Oh no. Where'd the door go? Did I take out the door too? Hello, door. You around here somewhere? Did you go in the system? Yes. Yes, you did. Anyway, I think it was Dragon of Fate, because I think that's who was on when I was AFK. There we go. Back to normal. So, today, let's see. What can we do today? Let's see. I'm just going to throw these on here real quick. Well, first off, I want to show you what I've been up to out here. Whoop. I built Doc's snowball factory up here. It's very, very cool. I'll show you how it works in case you haven't seen it. But Doc M had posted a video on how to make this. Basically, you trap a snow golem inside and you have it resting on an enchanting table. And that block gets forced in by a piston. He's not really standing on that. And he ends up creating an infinite snow trail on these two blocks here. And so you just grab a... Oh, I have more snow here than I realized. You grab a shovel. I'm all out of shovels at the moment. But you grab a shovel and you dig out the snow and it keeps coming back. And this is on a timer that will cause the snowballs that accumulate to drop and fall down and periodically dispense new shovels from this chest here. There might be some shovels in the hoppers. Maybe not. But anyway, it will dispense a new shovel, and it will also drop the snowballs down through here into the water stream. They bend around the corner, shoot underneath the half slab, align with the corner here, thanks to the ender chest, and they travel along this fence here and get scooped up by these 7 hoppers. And then the hoppers have hoppers directly below them, so it's filling both sets of chests as it goes along. And you can collect quite a bit of snowballs that way. And then I have a little system here underneath where I press that button, it starts a water stream. And I actually go in through here, and I break all of these chests, so all the snow comes out and pours down on top of me. And I could just do the, like... You know, if my inventory's full of snow blocks and I'm getting snowballs here, I just go, 8888 shift click, 8888 shift click, and I can craft the snow blocks very quickly. Now, why do I want an absurd number of snow blocks? Well, that is my main... that is my main building block, I suppose, for my main base. And I have quite a few of them, but I may end up actually needing more than that. What I want to do is I want to go, and I gotta talk to Munchmo about this to make sure I'm not encroaching on his territory too much. But I want to go over here in the swamp, over in that direction a bit more. It's mostly just open water over there, not a whole lot of actual swamp land. And Munchmo's base is right over there. So, I want to make sure that I'm not encroaching on his territory, and I also want to be over water, because I want to build my base in the sky using the snow blocks to make it look like it's sitting on clouds. I really liked the idea of having stuff on a cloud when I put the ice farm up in the sky, and tried to make it kind of look like a cloud when I was done on the last map. But unfortunately, I didn't do a very good job there. So I think the reason it didn't work out too well is I tried to make it look like a cloud afterwards. I think I can do a better job if I start out making it look like a cloud from the beginning. And it's going to be a whole sequence of small clouds spread throughout the sky, more or less, overlapping each other. Just checking the community board, see if anything has changed here. Doesn't look like it. Let's see, what else did I want to say about that? There's the clouds. I want to basically put everything that I need to live up in the cloud. I want to have one of... Well, I don't know if I'm going to make one of those or I'm going to just leave that be a community thing. But that's the beef barbecue. I may put an auto farm, one of those piston retracting auto farm things. I may also... so that's almost certainly going to go up there. I'm probably going to have... probably the snow, like that snow farm contraption, snow block contraption. I'll probably move that up there at some point. And I'll just build my houses or other buildings up in the clouds and try and make it like a cloud city, maybe. Those guys are not ready to harvest yet. But that's the general idea for the build. Like I said, I gotta talk to Munchmo before I actually get started, because I don't want him to get upset if I stick a big cloud in the sky not near or not too far from his base. So, I've also, off camera, removed this hill that was here. You may remember there was a big stone hill that apparently somebody had just stripped all the dirt off the top of for some reason. And it was pretty ugly and it wasn't working out very well for the server. So, I ended up just removing it and placing a whole bunch of dirt and grass down. It seems like it's all grown over now. So it looks quite a bit nicer, I think, more open. Well, we should be able to put some more community type stuff over here. Maybe the cow cooker and the chicken cooker can come over here a little bit more to go along with the like the crop farm and the wool farm and whatnot. This down here is Valrotho's Skittle Box I showed last episode. You may notice we have all of the colors now, which leads to my next topic of conversation. We have all of the colors because we've turned off the world border. People were kind of done with it. It wasn't really... I don't have any shears in here. I'll have to go get some iron and make some. People were not super happy with the wool farm, or not, yeah, with the wool farm, with the world border. It wasn't doing quite what we hoped it would. I think it served its purpose at the beginning of keeping the builds fairly close together. But at the same time, I think it kind of like there are different types of Minecraft players. There's the builders, there's the explorers, adventurers, you know, there's the redstoners, and the world border was really inhibiting the explorer, adventurer types from enjoying the game. Plus, we had quite a few people that were waiting for the world border to get out into a particular area before really getting into the game, because they had a particular idea in mind. I know Nihon wanted to build in a desert, so he was waiting for a desert to show up, and that was going to take a little while. And I think Drew was waiting on a particular location, and I'm not sure who else was waiting for a particular location, but I know that quite a bit of exploration has happened since the world border was taken down, and it seems like it's done some good. We've got 3 of us on right now. Turtle was just on a little bit. They're dropping like flies. Who else do we have? Casey was on. But yeah, generally there's at least 2 or 3 people on whenever I sign on, which is very good to see on the server. It was really sad playing it essentially single player last time. So I'm just going to finish shearing up these sheep, and then what we're going to do is we're going to work on the sorting filter system for the... Oh, come here. Come here. For the wool farm that I'm building across the road, or across the path, or whatever. Sorry about my frame rate, by the way. I think the sheep bouncing around is causing me issues, but... Anyway, we're going to work on that next, so I will see you in a bit over there. Okay, so let's get started here we're going to start out by essentially mirroring this side, which I've already done. So we're going to start out 3 blocks out from the wool and come straight out. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, like that. 3-block gap, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah. So we're going to come out like so, and we're just going to go all the way across. This is going to form the base of our sorting system, which will explain how it works. Just in case you're not familiar with these, it's a pretty standard layout, but in case you haven't seen it, maybe you'll be interested. In the meantime, I want to ask you guys to give me some opinions. Whoop. I'm curious to know a few things related to my channel. Alright, one of the things that I have been doing less of or not at all lately, of course it's raining, is doing intros. You may note that CarnisTerra doesn't have an intro yet, and I'm not quite sure what, if anything, I want to do there. I also have not been doing anything in the way of outros. I used to have a standard outro that I would put on, and I haven't been taking the time to put those on lately. And then finally, I haven't been doing custom thumbnails either, which is a little odd, I suppose, from the perspective of a Let's Player, because people generally like to do their custom thumbnails for their videos. They have stuff for the series or whatever. That doesn't actually have anything on it, that block, but... Oh, wait. Fail. I need to take these out so I can reach. Give me that. So, no intros, no outros, no custom thumbnails. The question is, what do you guys think about that? Is that something that you notice as a viewer? Do you notice when there's custom thumbnails? Do you notice the intros and outros? Do they do anything to enhance the viewing experience? Or are they just sort of things that people do for the sake of doing them? Are you more likely to watch a video because it has an outro? Or or an intro, or a custom thumbnail? Or do you just watch who you watch and it doesn't really matter? These are the sort of things I'm interested in, because one of the things, YouTube has this creator's playbook thing that is supposed to help people figure out how to do YouTube in a productive way, you know, how to get followers, subscribers, and get lots of views and all that stuff. But I don't feel like their playbook necessarily applies to LPers. It feels like it applies more to vloggers than anything else. So I'm not sure. I don't have a whole lot of time in my day that I can devote to this sort of thing. So I kind of want to devote the time that I have to actually creating the content, as opposed to trying to do... I hesitate to call them flashy, but for lack of a better word, flashy additions to it. So let me know in the comments what you think. I really would appreciate an opinion from each of you if you could, because it will really help me figure out what you guys want. I want to have this channel continue to be entertaining for you, to be something that you can really enjoy and recommend to your friends, etc., etc. So yeah, I just want some feedback from you, that's all. So what I'm doing right now, to get back to the build that I just finished, let's see, this is magenta. Whoop. Give me that. Got them in order already, it looks like. I'm placing exactly 22 wool, filling all 5 slots, so 1, 1, 1, 1, 18, in each of those hoppers. Now, if you were paying attention while I was talking, which is difficult to do, it's difficult to talk and play, let alone, you know, just watch and play, but anyway, you'll note that those hoppers actually point into the repeaters. It's not required that they point into the repeaters, but it is required that they don't point straight down. Because what we're trying to do here is lock the hoppers when they have too many items in them. Or we're actually trying to lock the hoppers and then unlock them when they have too many items in them. So this is a good cross section here. Let me kind of go over what's happening here. So these hoppers here are what feed into the chest. This hopper here is the filter. This makes sure that the only thing that makes it into these hoppers down here is red wool. Alright? Right now with 22 items, 22 of 64 in this hopper, the comparator powering this block ends up causing a signal strength of 1 here. I think it's actually a signal strength of 2. The block counts as 1, and then the dust counts as 1. Right? So each one is just outputting the signal strength to the dust right here. Right? So they're all lit up with a 1 signal strength right there. Now, you come down here, and that's off. As soon as you put, and I don't have any more wool. Oh, no, I do. I have some white wool. So we'll demonstrate on this side. As soon as you put some more wool in, it's going to change. This is where we're going to put it in right here. It's going to change this signal strength. So the signal strength is going to go from 1 to 2, like so. Alright, so it went in and then it disappeared. So when it went to 2, whoop, that powers this block. The repeater pulls power out of the block, turns off the redstone torch, which depowers that block and unlocks this hopper here. So by unlocking the hopper, it allows items to pass into it. So the piece of wool fell into this hopper and then went into, actually it went into the chest below. It went into the hopper. Okay, hold up. Hold up! Is this not the white one? What happened? Okay, so it would have gone in here. Is this not going in the right place? Something very peculiar has gone on. No, okay, these hoppers are pointing in the right direction. What did I do? What is going on here? Wait a second. It would have been here, right? Boom, boom. So that means it comes in here. Okay, so that's sitting there, fine. Drops down. Okay, and then what about down? Oh, I might not be able to reach that hopper. Maybe that's where it's sitting. Is it sitting in this hopper? No. Okay, it's sitting in that chest. Alright, anyway. I confused myself. I think what happened there is when I put it in the first time, it actually was in this back hopper, because I don't think I checked this one. Because the redstone torch powers that hopper, powers that block, which powers that hopper. So it locks both of them. So I think it managed to fall down in the time that the signal was off. It managed to fall down here, where it got stuck. And then when I put the next one in, that one flowed in here, and then this one didn't make it all the way down. It got stuck there. So ultimately what happens is that these chests will fill up as it goes. Now, how does this work? This is the thing that I wanted to explain most of all, because it's confused me initially as to how this can work when all of this redstone here is connected. Like, why doesn't, when you know, if like 5 white come down and hit this, why doesn't that power this more than one and unlock incidental hoppers? Well, it can during setup if you're not careful. If I were to just throw a full stack of white wool up there, it would flood the signal to the adjacent hoppers and break the system. But whenever the wool is going to be coming into the system, it's actually going to be coming in via a series of hoppers over top of this. Alright? Pointing into each other. So there'll be like one here, and then a hopper pointing into that, and etc, 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 and it's going to wrap around. The game will process each block one at a time. So the signal strength will only ever go up to 2. It'll never go up to 3, because as soon as it goes up to 2, the hopper unlocks, the wool block falls through, and the signal strength goes back to 1. So it's just going to oscillate between 1 and 2, and the system will work out fine. But when you're setting this up, you have to make sure not to put more than 22 in the initial system, or you will have issues. And that's all we're going to do with the wool farm today. I haven't gotten a chance to work with Snowshoe on the aesthetic portion of this yet. He just recently moved. I think I may have mentioned this last episode, but he just recently moved, and he's still sort of getting set up. And I didn't want to try to rush him into anything today. So hopefully we'll have a chance to talk next week. And, whoa, frame rate lag like crazy right now. It's got to be the rain and the fact that I'm recording. Hopefully I'll be able to talk to Snowshoe next week, and we'll be able to get him on, and we'll talk about building the actual building. Because before I can continue any further, we have to figure out which end of those chests the items are coming up. Left or right, forward, front or back. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I know it's a little short-ish, but I don't want to drag it on at all. I hope you enjoyed it, and please let me know your opinions on the whole intro, outro, thumbnail question. This is probably not necessary. Because I would really like to know. I mean, do you want to see more of that sort of thing on my channel, or are you okay with the fact that it's gone? Whatever. I do have an idea for an outro that I might be putting together if I can spend enough time with the program, the Blender, the 3D modeling, animating tool. I have an idea for that. We'll see. I make no promises. But like I said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one, everybody.